Good evening, everybody. And that's the way it is, isn't it? Welcome back to our Stratomatic replay of the 1919 World Series between the American League champion Chicago White Sox and the National League champion Cincinnati Reds. For those of you who have been following this series, we are tied at 2 games apiece in this best of 9. And if you don't know how we've got there, well, you're going to have to watch the first 4 games, people, because I'm not telling anything. In the 5th game of the World Series, they actually took a break between games 4 and 5, as you can take a look there at the summary. The White Sox won the first 2 games, and the Reds won the second 2 games. So we can't win at Redland Field, but they can't win at Comiskey Park. We have a very crucial Game 5 today. Since the series is tied at 2, this series is now a best of 5. So we're going to see what happens. A very big game here at Comiskey. So let's take a look and see what happens. And in the original Game 5, the Reds actually shut out the White Sox. But is that going to happen here? Let's play the game. And let's see here. Let's schedule it up. And we're going to play, as you know, we are playing the Cincinnati Reds. So it's going to be Eller against Williams in this game. So this is a very big game here, Game 5. Let's get right down to it.
Welcome to the stadium for today's ball game.
We welcome you once again to a nice day at Comiskey Park. This is Game 5 of the 1919 World Series between the Cincinnati Reds and the Chicago White Sox. Pitching for the White Sox will be Lefty Williams. In 1919, 23 wins, 11 losses, a 2.64 ERA. Leading off for the Reds will be Maury Rath. Let's see how things go. And it starts with a line out to second. Collins will make the play, 1 out. And now we shall see Jake Daubert. Daubert hits a single to center. Felsch will have to throw it in. That was a nice playoff for Daubert, and now we'll see Heine Groh. Groh's going to smack himself a double. This is going to go to extra bases. Let's send the lead runner, see if we can get him in, and they will allow the run to score. And just like that, it's 1-0 Reds. Just like that, the Reds already are on the board. Groh is on at second, and here is Ed Roush, the best hitter for the Reds. That's a ground ball to Collins, and we do animate the X chart for this series for you. Can Collins make the play? Yes. It does allow Groh to go to third, but they're now 2 outs, and here is Duncan. That's a single to right. That is off the pitcher card. Liebold will have to throw it in, and the Reds take a 2-0 lead. And now here's Larry Kopf. Single to right again. And I think we'll send the runner. They're going to cut the throw off to hold Kopf at first. Runners at the corners, still 2 out. And now Greasy Neal is coming up. So the Reds have already gotten 4 hits in this inning. There's a line out to third to end the inning. Cincinnati 2, Chicago 0, bottom of the first. And let's take a look at the Reds pitcher. That would be Hod Eller. In 1919, 20 wins, 9 losses, a 2.4 ERA. Not too bad. Not too bad. Here is Nemo Liebold for the White Sox. And that's a ground ball to Daubert at first. He'll make the play, 1 out. And now we shall see Eddie Collins. Collins strikes out. And now Buck Weaver will come up to bat. That's a ground ball to Kopf. Kopf's got pretty decent range. Can he make the play? Yes, he can. It's an out, and the inning is done. Second inning coming up here for the Reds. Is the fix in? Well, we've been trying to figure that out so far this entire series. I don't know if the fix was in when the White Sox won the first 2 games in Cincinnati, but I'm beginning to wonder since it's back in Chicago. Here's Bill Raritan for the Reds. He leads off. It's a strikeout. And now Hod Eller will come up to bat. There's a ground ball to second. Collins has some decent range. Can he make the play? Yes. It's a ground out. 2 men down. And now we shall see Maury Rath, who is 0 for 1. Ground ball to Risberg. Risberg's got some good range. He should have it. Can he make the play? Yes, it's an out. Bottom of the second coming up. And there, of course, we see shoeless Joe Jackson. And for those of you who have not seen his card this year, in 1919, a .351 average, had 7 home runs, 96 RBIs. Now remember, people, this is the year 1919 in my replay. And remember also, this was the last year of the dead ball era. As we now go into the 20s and the 30s, we enter the live ball era. We're going to see a lot more homers flying over fences. But Shoeless is at the plate. And he grounds one to second, and Rath will make the play one down. And that will bring up Happy Felsch. Felsch is going to smack a home run. He gets it out of here. Here I am talking about the dead ball era, and Happy Felsch says, not so fast. Let me show you what's in store for you later in the future of baseball. And he smacks one out of here. 2-1 now. Here is Chick Gandil for the White Sox. That's a single to center. Roush will have to throw it in. And now we shall see Swede Risberg. That's a fly ball to center. Roush has excellent range. And as long as he doesn't make an error, he should have it. And he does. That's an out. 2 men down, and now here is Ray Schalk, the catcher. Schalk flies out to center, and that is the inning. Cincinnati 2, Chicago 1. We go to the third, and here is Jake Daubert. Daubert grounds one right to Collins at second for the out. And we shall now see Heine Groh. Groh grounds one to third. Weaver will make the play. And now here is Eddie Roush. That's a strikeout. 3 up, 3 down inning for the Reds. And now Lefty Williams will come up to bat for the White Sox, the pitcher, and he promptly strikes out, 1 down. And now we see Nemo Leibold. That is going to be a ground out right back to Eller, who will throw it over to Daubert for the out. And now we will see Eddie Collins. That's a single. Collins goes to first. And now we have Buck Weaver. He's running, 85% chance. I think we'll hold the ball on, let him steal, concentrate on the batter, which is Buck Weaver. And yeah, you have to pitch to him. Now here's the thing about it. He batted .296 for the season. In this World Series, he's only batting .167. Let's see if we take advantage of that. Nope, this time he comes through. It's a base hit. We'll stop the other runner from advancing, allow it to score, and Buck Weaver makes me eat my words, and it's now 2-2. And now here's shoeless Joe Jackson. Jackson batted .351 for the season, for 1919. He is batting .294 for the World Series. He did get off to a slow start. And he walks. So runners at first and second now for Happy Felsch. Felsch grounds out to second to end the inning. Cincinnati 2, Chicago 2. This is Game 5 of the 1919 World Series here at Comiskey Park. The series is tied at 2 between the Reds and the White Sox. We're in the 4th inning. And here is Pat Duncan leading off for Cincinnati. That's a fly ball to Felsch. He usually can make the play. He gets under it, and he will get it. 1 out. And now here's Larry Kopf. Larry Kopf came through for the Reds last game. If you want to know why, you'll have to watch it. Line out to second. Collins makes the play. And now here is Greasy Neal. Greasy Neal pops it out to first to end the inning. Gandil will lead it off for the Sox. He's already 1 for 1. Ground ball to third. Groh makes the play to first. And now we'll see Risberg. That's a base hit. Risberg goes to first. Definitely a threat to steal. He's probably going to run. He's being held. Nope, they're going to let Schalk bat, and that's going to be a strikeout. 2 men down. And now here is the pitcher, Lefty Williams, and he strikes out. 5th inning coming up, everyone. Bill Raritan to bat for the Reds. That's a ground ball to short. Risberg over to Gandil. And now we shall see Hod Eller, the Reds pitcher. Fly ball to left, and Shoeless makes the play. And now here is Maury Rath. Ground ball to short. Risberg's got good range. Can he make it? Let's see what happens. The ball coming to him, and yes, he will retire the side. Bottom of the fifth. Nemo Leibold for the White Sox leads off against Eller. That's a ground ball to Rath. Rath has excellent range. Can he make the play? No, it's going to be an error. It allows Leibold to go to first, and we will see Eddie Collins. That could be a big error, and he's running. We're gonna try. Let's see. Here's the throw. Nope, not even close. It's an error. It throws into the outfield. That's the reason why I haven't been throwing. Leibold goes to third, and the go-ahead run is now at third base. Sometimes the best time to throw is, well, not to do so. And if people don't know, sometimes that's what can happen here. Here is Eddie Collins. The infield is in. That won't matter. That's just going to be a sac fly to right. Neal will make the play, but the run scores, and the White Sox lead it 3-2. Here is Buck Weaver with the runner, and that's a fly ball to center. Roush makes the play, 2 men down. And here, of course, is the great shoeless Joe Jackson. And there's another walk. He goes to first. Happy Felsch is up. Felsch hits a fly out to left to end the inning. Chicago 3, Cincinnati 2. We go to the top of the 6th. And Jake Daubert will lead it off for the Reds. That's a fly ball to left. Jackson makes the play, 1 out. And we shall now see Heine grow. And he does grow. That's a base hit. Grow goes to first. And now the best batter for the Reds is up in Ed Roush. Roush is going to hit a ball into the outfield. It's going to be for extra bases. We're going to send the runner. The throw is coming home. Send the trailing runner. No cutoff. Schalk is trying to block the plate. Grow is out at home. Trailing runner advances. It's a double for Roush, but he goes to third. But the tying run is blocked. Does not get it in. It's still 3-2. What a play by Schalk. Ability to block is great, and he gets it. What a play. Pat Duncan is now at the plate, but he hits a single to center. It doesn't matter. Roush will score, and the game is tied again. So how big was that play by Schalk now? Because the Reds would be up by a run. Duncan is at first, and here's Larry Koff. And he's plunked. Runners now at first and second for Greasy Neal. Here's the pitch to Neal. That's going to be a base hit. We're going to try again, run the green light. This time they're going to cut the throw off and allow run the score, and the Reds take the lead 4-3. And now Bill Raritan comes up with runners still at first and second. There's a ground out to third to end the inning. Cincinnati 4, Chicago 3, bottom of the 6th. Is this game going back and forth here? Here is Chick Gandil for the White Sox. And that's going to wind up a line out right to Grow, 1 down. And now Swede Risberg will come up. He grounds one right back to Eller. Eller's got good range on the mound. Can he make the play? Yes, he can. That's an out. And now here's Ray Schalk. That's going to be a single to right. Neal will have to throw it into Rath to prevent the run from moving in. And now we shall see Lefty Williams. That's a base hit for the pitcher. But Schalk's going to be held at second. Runners at first and second for Leibold. Now the White Sox are threatening. That's a pop out to second. And Rath will make the play. At the end of 6, it's the Reds leading the White Sox 4-3 here in Game 5 of the 1919 World Series. I have been receiving some comments lately from all you people on the Stratomatic Baseball Facebook, and I do want to say thank you very much for all those comments. And of course, I know some of you also want to say I stink, Yeah, I probably do. That's okay. I'm just having a blast here with Stratomatic. We got so many more replay games coming up as we move through the history of baseball. And, of course, some more World Series and also a complete season. And I will not tell you what season that will be, but trust me, we got a long way before we get there. Let's go to the top of the 7th inning. The Reds are up 4-3. And Hod Eller leads off and he strikes out. And now we'll see Maury Rath. He is 0 for 3 and he's batting .227 for the series. But that's going to help his average up. That's a base hit to right. Liebold tosses it in. And now we'll see Jake Daubert. He's only batting .200 for the series. And that's a fly out to right, 2 men down. Heine Groh is up. And Heine Groh, he is batting .333. But a fly ball to center won't help it much. We go to the bottom of the 7th. Whose number 2 uniform was retired by the White Sox? That would be Nellie Fox, another Hall of Famer, by the way. Bottom of the 7th, and Hod Eller is still on the mound. He's pitched a bit here. Let's take a look and see what he's up to. See how he's feeling. He says he's fine. Okay. Eddie Collins leads off for the White Sox in the bottom of the 7th. That's a strikeout. Remember, during this time of baseball history, the dead ball era and even the live ball era, relief pitching was rare. It was very rare. So we didn't see all these times where you brought in one pitcher to pitch to one person and then where you can go through 3 relief pitchers in an inning. I still sometimes wonder why they do it now, and I guess because baseball conditioning is so much different today than it was back in the 1910s, 20s, 30s, and 40s. Weaver is the batter for the White Sox. Pop out to short. Kopf makes the play, 2 men down. And now here is Schulis. He, as I said, he's batting .293, .294. He's got 3 walks. Let's see what happens to Schulis. That's a strikeout. So the White Sox go quietly. We go to the 8th. Eddie Rausch leading it off for the Reds. That's a ground ball to Risberg. He's got good range. Can he make the play? No, it's going to be an error by Risberg and allows Rausch to go to first. I would like to mention Risberg did make a key error earlier in this series. If you want to know when it was, you got to watch the rest of the games. Here's Pat Duncan for the Reds and a man on. It does he grounds out, but Rausch does go to second. And now we'll see Larry Kopf. If you notice, I haven't been doing much stealing. This Reds team was not very fast. Kopf hits a fly ball to center. Felsch will make the play. And now here is Greasy Neal. An intentional walk is issued to him, and they'll pitch to Bill Raritan. Raritan batting .222 for the series. Let's see if we can make him pay for it. Nope. Fly ball to left, and Jackson makes the play. Bottom of the 8th inning. Hod Eller is still on the mound. Happy Felsch. And let's see if Eller says let's see how he's feeling in this inning. He says he's fine. I'll keep him out there. Here's the pitch to Felsch. Felsch lines one right to Kopf, 1 out. And now Chick Gandil will come up. Gandil gets a base hit, singles it into center. Rausch will throw it in. And now here is Swede Risberg. He needs to make up for the error. He won't do it there. Fly ball left field to Duncan. 2 men down. And now here's Schalk. And he's going to bring a new pit batter. It's going to be Eddie Murphy. And he's the ringer. He's the White Sox. That's the ringer. That's the card. And that's a walk. Runners now at first and second. The batter is supposed to be Williams. Will he bring in a pinch hitter? Yes, he will. He brings in Shano Collins. Runners at first and second for Eller on the mound. Here's the windup. Here's the pitch. And that's going to be a triple. 2 runs will score. The White Sox take the lead 5-4 in the bottom of the 8th on a huge triple by Shano Collins. So the White Sox make a big play in the bottom of the 8th as Eller cannot get out of the inning. Collins is on at second. Nemo Liebold is the batter. And I'm going to bring in a new pitcher to see if I can just get myself out of this inning. And I'm going to bring in Roy Mitchell. Here's the pitch to Liebold. That's a fly ball to left. and Duncan makes the play. Chicago 5, Cincinnati 4, top of the 9th inning. Roy Mitchell is supposed to be the batter. John Sullivan will now pitch for the White Sox, and we'll bring in a pinch hitter here. With the down 5-4, we got to do something. Let's see, and I'm going to bring in, he's what? He's a lefty. I'll bring in the righty. I'll bring in Sherry McGee. Or they like to call him Sherwood McGee of the Reds. He will come up to bat. Top of the 9th inning. Here's the pitch to McGee. McGee grounds one to Weaver. One man down. And now here is Maury Rath. Rath hits a base hit. The tying run is on. And now here's Jake Daubert. Do we try to hit and run with Daubert? Let's have a look at his card real quick. Bunting is an A, hit and run's a B, stealing's a B, and Rath stealing's a B. It's a tough call. I think I'm gonna let Daubert hit this one. Here's the pitch. And I just missed it. A fly out to center. Felsch makes the play. 2 men down. The last chance for the Reds is Heine Groh. Can we stay alive? He does. It's a walk. And now Ed Roush. Well, if you're the Reds, this is what you wanted. Top of the 9th inning, you got your best hitter up there. Roush, though, is only batting .263 for the series. Runners at first and second. Top of the 9th. John Sullivan pitching for the White Sox. Let's have a look at him real quick. No wins, a loss, a 4.2 ERA in 1919. Okay. So, can the Reds stay alive? 5-4. The pitch from Sullivan coming to the plate. It's a line drive right to second. Collins makes the play, and the White Sox take a 3-2 lead in the series. Game kind of went back and forth on me on this one, and I really thought I had it, but maybe I shouldn't have made the pitch. Maybe I shouldn't have made the pitch. Maybe I should have walked him, or maybe I should have brought in somebody else. But that was actually off the hitter card, so that wouldn't have made a difference anyway. The White Sox win the game 5-4 here at Comiskey. And let's take a look at the box score. We can see for the Reds that Maury Rath was 2 for 5. Groh had 2 hits. Pat Duncan had the big one. He was 2 for 4, but he had 2 RBIs today. But for the White Sox, it was Shano Collins, the big pinch hit triple, which scored the 2 RBIs. Chick Gandil was 2 for 4. But I think if I was to give the game ball, I think I would give it to Shano Collins. A huge pinch hit triple, which allows the 2 runs to score and gives the White Sox the lead in the bottom of the 8th inning. And of course, Happy Felsch hit his home run today. And that was his first of this series. This was an exciting game. Lefty Williams gets the win, Eller the loss, and Sullivan does get the save. So, that's it here from Comiskey. The next game goes back to Redland Field as the Reds become the home team for the next game, because now they will flip-flop for the next few games. So, everyone, I'm glad you enjoyed tonight. We'll see you next time. The White Sox defeat the Reds 5-4 and now take a 3-2 series lead. What's going to happen? Only Stratomatic knows. See you later, guys.